Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Central. Thank you for joining us. We don't know where you're joining us from. If you're joining us, for those in Lagos, if you're joining from your homes or you're joining from your cars or you literally just maybe got back to your home or you're literally walking from the house to the office, we just want to say sorry. Sorry, really, that's what it is.
Take heart.
Take heart. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. I'm Olive Emodi and you're welcome to the show.
And I'm Benga Bora. This is Breakfast Central. We have a lot in store for you. It's a really packed day. And we start off wake-up conversations with the obvious and the biggest conversation, if not in the country right now. We're reaching you from Lagos, the center of excellence. But what happened yesterday wasn't so excellent. Let Olive take over from here because she experienced the mother of all traffics, just to put it lightly. Well,
the mother of all traffics was yesterday. Traffics, is that a word? But yes, it was yesterday. It was terrible. From a number of us left the mainland to get to the island, and I think we ended up spending over 5 hours in traffic. And just when I was thinking my situation was very bad, I put up on my stories ranting about this, and I then started to get reactions from people who experienced this. And we'll take their reactions shortly. But it's an indictment on the leaders that we have. There's in ministries involved, the Ministry of Works, Transportation, Lagos State Government, the federal government. Look at that video. Reports have it that this video was shot at 1 a.m. On my way to work this morning, there were people who are just getting home. Right? There were people who said to me, I went for a meeting in VI and I'm only just getting home, and even now I can't get a taxi back to my house. There were situations where parents couldn't get across to their children. Someone responded to my story saying that her friend couldn't get across to her kid and had to call the owner of the creche to take the kid. I mean, look at which... Nobody deserves to live like this.
Nobody deserves this. I've been in 4 hours traffic and I thought, it was the worst day of my life. Imagine people that spend 12 hours here. Imagine children coming back from school. It's never been this bad in the history of Lagos. Yesterday's traffic was the absolute mother of all traffics. And like Olive said, it's an indictment on our leaders. Do you not model things? Do you not test run? Do you not simulate some of these things? Lagos has 25 million people. The number of cars you have in Lagos, to know where the traffic diversion, if it would work for this, and what happens in a situation where it rains and there's also traffic diversion. They should have thought these things out thoroughly. Imagine doing this. And the worst part is they wanted to close that bridge for 2 months. Yesterday...
2 whole months?
2 whole months. I guess after seeing videos and reactions of Nigerians, they rescinded that decision. So what happens to the repair of the bridge? Where there was the bridge... Did the bridge fail integrity test? Was it just cosmetic repairs that they wanted to fix on the bridge? So many questions that deserve answers, but this is heartbreaking.
This is terrible,
to say the least.
I'm going to read some people's reactions because I posted about this as well. I'm going to read some people's reactions. Someone says to me they had spent 5 hours. Okay, this is Oyiga Michael who said some people spend 4 hours for traffic before them reach work this morning. The same people currently they inside traffic as them don't spend another 4 hours to go back house after work. Worst part, rain beat them reach office, rain beat them go house. No be life with this. Oyiga Michael isn't the only one ranting. Dele Olawanle says, so, I have been in traffic on Admiralty Way, Lekki, since 4 p.m. for a 10:50 p.m. flight, and we were at a standstill for 5 hours. Guess what? I missed the flight. Leaving home for 6 hours may not be enough if you don't want to miss your flight. Were you in the area? Maurice Moye says, the worst Lagos traffic in the history of traffics. Guinness World Record contender, actually unreal, and I totally think I should start this tweet. I completely agree. Yesterday was horrible. Otumba Sheun says, I have used 5 hours, 56 minutes, and still counting. From Lekki Phase 1 to Adiola Odepo.
This is painful.
That should naturally be around 10 minutes. Lagos State government can really do better. They fail the slightest test of competency. That's from Otumba Sheun. Rainmaker says, 1:35 a.m. on Lekki Ikoyi Link Bridge, and it's still bumper to bumper. It took 4 hours to get to Lekki 1 from VI. Is it just this Independence Bridge closure that messed up the entire city this way? Where's the urban planning resilience that Lagos claims to have? And, there's still other ones. Ayo Bankole spent 3 hours from Lekki to the airport to catch a flight. 2 hours of it was between Freedom Way and Lekki Ikoyi. He says it will be evil for the government not to respond and strategize on the repair works. What happened today is unsustainable in a 2025 megacity. And Ayo Bankole's case is even good. If he spends 3 hours from Lekki to the airport, look at the other man who spent 5 hours and still missed his flight, right? Somebody was saying that if you are going to America, you will get to America before people in Lagos traffic will get to their own homes.
I mean, it's just, it's really, really sad. I saw a tweet yesterday. Someone said the life expectancy in Lagos State from just yesterday has dropped to 25 years old. Because these things have serious health implications and mental implications for the three people.
Right.
It's beyond apologies. I mean, they've been getting away with...
No.
I don't understand.
I agree. Well, I know that you say it's beyond apologies, and I can understand, but I think we deserve an apology. They put out a memo yesterday telling people how to navigate. Have they apologized?
You think they will not apologize?
No. It's not just apologize for putting out a press release. They should actually sit down in front of a camera and make a video and apologize to Lagosians. Do you know what people went through? There are people that... Imagine health emergencies. Imagine those that, had to be at the hospital. See someone now missed his flight. Are they going to reimburse him for the flight he's missed?
No compensation.
We're talking about parents. A follower told me that her child was trapped in school, a 3-year-old child. People were with their kids. Even as I'm talking to you now, somebody has just responded to my DM again on Instagram, and I'm just going to read it out. It's heartbreaking. Someone says, hold on, let me just read this one. She says, I started my journey at 5 p.m., got home Ogudu, 11:40 p.m. That's how many hours? About 6 hours plus. When I got to Alexander Road, I begged one security of a company to allow me use their toilets. Imagine how dehumanizing it is.
Multitudes of people that went through the same thing.
You stop on the road.
Really sad.
You stop on. So as a man, I mean, I'm not trying to bring in any gender thing, but you know how you men can maneuver to pee on the way. As a woman, I now want to pee on the way inside that traffic. What will I do? It's terrible.
And you're not supposed to even publicly urinate. So imagine the men that were obeying the laws, rightfully obeying the laws. What will happen to the state of their bladder?
Nah.
It's really
just
terrible.
to say that Lagosians deserve an apology. Not just a written apology, a video apology from all involved. We absolutely deserve an apology. But beyond the apology, this should never happen again. They've lifted off the closure. They've said that they've opened the road.
Yes.
But what happens? I haven't been on the road, but I hear that the road has been broken. So what then happens? What are the next steps?
I would like to confirm that to you. Our correspondent was at the Independent Bridge yesterday. They had visuals of excavators. They've dig like 3 meters into that road in just 24 hours. So I don't know. Do you say, let the bridge be open? It's going to take a while to put back asphalt on that road and make it motorable. So today, there you go.
I'm looking for
that's the visual.
So how do we cross this?
How do you fix this?
How?
And I'm sure they didn't work overnight. And what happens, I mean, this is emergency services. What happened on the public holidays? Why didn't you do this?
Well, it's terrible. If we are to keep up with modern best practices, let's behave like others. Look at how. So lifting up this closure, what does it do for us? So am I going to experience the same rubbish again today?
Excavator is Okadas and Kekes will pass there, and the cars will wait till when they fix it.
Just to mention that there are many people that should be held culpable. And I think that we deserve an explanation from the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. We do deserve an explanation from the Lagos State government. We deserve an explanation. I saw the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation yesterday issue a press release by their Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Mrs. Bolanle Ogunlola. She signed it, and this press release was advising motorists on where to pass and where not to pass, void of empathy. If this is confirmed to be directly from the Lagos State Ministry of Government, void of empathy, void of emotion, just saying, oh, motorists should not pass here. Nah, that's not how we roll. Just to mention.
When they do the Third Mainland Bridge repairs, it's totally different. It's a major artery. And thank goodness there's the Carter Bridge, there's the alternative route to get to the mainland. But this is within the city. How many alternative routes and how much volume can it handle? They should have envisaged that it was going to lead to this. Like I said earlier, they should have simulated all possible scenarios. You block the bridge, there's rain. You block the bridge, there's a road closure somewhere. What happens? But
look at, it says the bridge was closed down 2 days ago by the federal government for urgent repairs. And, so my issue is, our last-minuteness. Allow me to use that
and
word.
anyhowness
Our
also.
anyhowness. So you know that you're going to repair the bridge in thinner climes. I'll give an example. In the UK, for example, if they need to close certain routes, you have notice ahead of time. You are seeing flyers everywhere.
Travel
They're making
advisory, yes.
The travel advisory goes far and wide. How many people knew that these roads were going to be closed yesterday? How many people knew that the road had been closed? And what stops us from working like other thinner climes that would say, you know what, we'll shut the roads down at night so that we can do our work.
Exactly.
And in the daytime, we'll then allow passage so that we can mitigate. Lagos is a mega city, it's an urban city. Our population cannot contend with last-minute drastic measures. We can't do that. It's very, very, very thoughtless.
I mean, even without the road closure, we're already dealing with issues of traffic, and then you compound it with this road closure. I wonder how soon they will be able to fix this road so it's motorable. A lot of people went through a lot yesterday. But moving on from...
as we are moving on, just to say to people that to employers of labor as well, please, if we can manage this season, manage the situation. You know that we're typically 3 on the show. Johansson would have been here, but unfortunately, this whole drama has been part of what has prevented him from being able to come on air. So for employers of labor, if you can make exception for your staff, please try as much as you can. For those who can work from home, allow them work from home. So until this whole drama is sorted out and we know what the next steps are, because we're increasing the cortisol level, shortening the lifespan of Nigerians, and like I said, we deserve an apology, not a written apology, a video apology from the federal government, from the state government, and an assurance that this will never happen again. We should be embarrassed and ashamed of ourselves for what has happened. Now let's move on.
Yeah, from Lagos, we move to neighboring Ogun State, where something very outrageous is happening. Parents drag Ogun school over incision on student bodies. And you know what mothers are. Imagine your child coming home and you see incisions on his or her body after school. Let me tell you the story. 2 parents have accused a private school in Arepo area, Ogun State, of carrying out unauthorized incisions on their children's bodies. The parents on Tuesday said the incision resulted in health complications in the children. One of the affected parents, Abosede, the mother of the 4-year-old young boy, said she discovered the incision on her son's stomach on March the 2nd. She claimed to have initially noticed the mark after he complained of persistent itching on the side of his stomach. Abosede explained that 3 weeks after discovering the mark, her son fell ill and had to be taken to the hospital, where doctors confirmed that the incision had caused an infection. I mean, this is just heartbreaking to
First of all, as I try to put myself in the position of a mother, there'll be problem. As a mother, that my child will come back home and tell me that there were incision marks on their body, and as a school that I put you in their care.
Private school.
And this is not the first time that we've seen private schools come under fire for their lack of attention to detail with regards providing and taking care of the children. We've seen that in the unfortunate scenarios where we've had to lose certain children's lives. You know, there's Whitney, we can start to go over, there's Sylvester, who, you know, whilst there's a court judgment about it, the parents and some of the witnesses would argue differently. So as schools, I don't know if schools understand the responsibility that lies on them, you know, the responsibility on their shoulders to guarantee the safety and security of a child. The moment a parent drops a child in your school, it's not just about the education and what they'll learn. These are key. But also you are invariably signing a contract guaranteeing that their kids are safe and that the way they brought their kids is how do you return their kids to them. You return my child and there is mark on my child body.
I'm just wondering, what excuse in this world can the school have? What sort of subject allows you, or what decisions are you making? Even when people vaccinate in schools, they're written that there's a consent form that is sent out.
You know why?
And the parents are aware. But incision, for what?
You know why? Because in other cases where there have been major infractions by certain schools, we haven't seen drastic measures. In these cases where these children have died, how many schools have been permanently shut down? How many schools have had their administrators thrown in jail?
Or their licenses withdrawn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you see that there aren't strong measures, of course, you will then start to expect that people will do whatever they want to do and get away with it. You can get away with it because, you know, they will go appeal to the parents, there'll be a media noise about it, and after a while, everything will fizzle out and life will return to normal. So we have a culture of impunity because we absolutely don't know how to be able to hold schools to account, hold institutions to account. And it's just really sad. I hope the parents really follow this thing to the latter. Somebody needs to go to
exactly. There has to be serious and severe consequences. You're not just doing this to a minor in the first place, and then it's bodily harm and it has a health implication. So the offenses are just numerous, and there should be serious and dire consequences for the school and, of course, those involved in this really, really terrible act.
Well, we'll bring more updates regarding that story as we receive it. Now let's move to our next story. This time, we're talking about the Ministry of Livestock that came under heavy criticism when it was being established, because people are asking, why exactly is there a need for a Ministry of Livestock to be established when we do have a Ministry of Agriculture now? The interesting part is several months after the establishment of Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, FMLD, there's still no website. Checks show that the only ministry in Nigeria without a website is this one. There are also no designated official social media accounts for the ministry. Recall that in July 2024, during the inauguration of the Presidential Committee on Livestock Reforms, President Bola Tinubu hinted at the creation of FMLD, talking about the sector's being positioned to boost agricultural productivity and enhance export opportunities. So tell me why months later, I mean, they had been given a 21 recommendations, including, this was the panel that gave President recommendations, including creation of Ministry of Livestock. And when you hear the arguments for the Ministry of Livestock, they will tell you about how, even with regards to our challenges with herdsmen and grazing, that this will be a lasting solution. Unfortunately, it has proved abortive. So why do we not have any explicit communique regarding the Ministry of Livestock? Why do we not know what is happening in that ministry?
The mandate.
Are there people that are being paid? Are there directors? Are there leaders? Are there people that are being paid salaries in this ministry? You know, so these are the questions to be asked. I hope that public office holders understand that there is they owe a duty of care and a duty of accountability to the public. And in this day and age, the way that you do that is by social media, by your website, by X, and by these other platforms where you put necessary information. It's not a thing to be like, oh, I'm working, so I'm not going to show you people. I don't owe you, people are not the one. We are the ones that put you there. You are there to serve Nigerians. So I hope that they do the needful and we get a proper explanation as to why exactly the Ministry of Livestock does not have a website or social media presence. But as we get more information in that regard, we'll be bringing it to you again. For those of us who are in different parts of Lagos, we like to get updates regarding what the traffic situation is around your area. Those who would have to go from the mainland to the island, they say that the Independence Bridge has been opened. Has it been opened? We'll be connecting with our correspondents who will be bringing us live feed as well.
We'd also like to give credit to the Punch newspapers for that story on the incision on students' bodies in Ogun State.
All right, let's share with you the top stories we're looking at this morning on Breakfast Central before we delve in proper into our conversations. This morning on Breakfast Central, top stories. Tribunal throws out opposition petition against Governor Okpebholo. And Kogi government accuses Natasha of lawlessness in homecoming rally. Away from Kogi government, we also will be looking at the state of the nation, analyzing it, looking especially in the most recent times, what has been happening with traffic for those in Lagos. Federal government set to halt importation of solar panels. What does this mean for energy? And we'll be reviewing the newspaper front pages. Join us for all these and more. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Good news, the team is complete now. We have Joe Hansen back on set. Good morning, Joe. Sorry about what you went through. Do you want to share with the great people?
You don't look like what you've been through.
No, we don't. We don't. We've been through
very
the fire.
resilient, just like Nigeria.
Joe.
Anyway,
it's not a laughing matter, my brother.
I've made up my mind I'm going to hold myself this morning. The reason is because if we are to, I mean, there's a popular song that I think cuts across the Gen Z and millennials that was done by Tiwa Savage featuring Dr. Seed. If I start to talk, you understand? The things that I would say, it's going to be beyond what a lot of Nigerians would actually be able to swallow. To be honest, I think we live in a banana republic, to be honest. I think Nigerians are being seen as maybe animals that are being trained by the owners. So whatever the owner decides that the animal will do, the animal has no choice. If the animal decides that it wouldn't work, the owner would flog the animal. Yesterday, Lagosians were flogged. It was as if we were flogged and told, shut up, this is what we're going to do, just follow. You have no say. Because this morning, while coming here, I can tell you that it has started already.
Oh my goodness.
You know, there's only one, and we saw a fake circulation online where the minister, you know, is saying open open where? Where do you
the road that has been destroyed?
A road that has
I
been.
like that you called it a fake circulation because if you give out that,
because Nigerians don't believe that it's fake. That open the road, let people where? Which road? What road? A road that they've already started excavating, breaking. We do have the videos. If you have the video, you can put it up on the screen. It's there. So where do you want people to pass?
Again, I'm just saying that I don't think we've heard the worst of all the stories, the horror stories, you know. People are starting to share their experiences.
We left here. We left here around 11:30, about 11. Let's say 11:48
a.m.
A.m. 11:48 a.m. In Ikeja, and I was only able to get into the house at 10 p.m.
Make it make sense. Somebody who is going to
10 p.m.
Somebody who is going to London will have gotten to London.
Oh, by far.
Settled in. You'll have eaten nice.
Think about that. Look at the screen. Look at what you've done to a city. And it pains me that a governor that you hold so much in high esteem has not deemed it fit to do a video. He's very active on social media. He has not deemed it fit to do a video to say, Nigerians, I am sorry. Or we are sorry, please. I think we didn't get this one right. Why is it that is there any human feeling at all? Zero. It seems like there's nothing. There's no human feeling.
Olive highlighted it.
Nothing.
The press release that came out of the Lagos State government, devoid of any
lacking of empathy.
Nothing. No emotions. Nothing
just,
like,
okay. Like you rightly said it. Look, we're your masters. We flog you. Anything.
We flog you. Listen.
We write, you must accept. I mean, it's terrible.
What will make sense, honestly, it's just like I said this earlier before you had come in. What will make sense is that we get an apology, a video apology, not a written apology. Say, dear Lagosians, you know, we didn't think this through. And one of the hallmarks of leadership, of great leadership, is accountability. Being able to say, okay, I didn't do well, I'm sorry. Sometimes you will get it wrong. It's unfortunate that this particular miscalculation on their part has cost Nigerians a lot. So what we deserve.
Can we see that
press release? That press release, just scrolled on the screen there.
It was just giving orders.
Just calm down, Just keep scrolling. Let's see if we can keep scrolling. Just scroll.
So it's just giving instruction. Motorists from this place, follow this place.
Exactly.
Traffic from this place, follow that place. Let's go back to the end.
Stop here now. Just stop here. Look at. Motorists heading to Inner Marina and CMS from Amadu Bello Way to use Ozumbambadiwe Avenue, inbound Aki Adeshola to connect Falomo roundabout. Deputy Director, with all due respect, did you use that route? Did you use it?
You know, it's so easy to write this.
Did you use this route? Did you use it yourself? Madam, did you use it? Even the governor, did you use this route? I bet you that nobody in power or anybody in government in Lagos State, none of them used this route. They did not.
Oh, do you know what was even funny? I saw a video on X where these people with their convoy, I should look for that video. People were still following one way. The VIPs were still finding their ways to maneuver through the traffic at the detriment of the Nigerian citizens.
So even in traffic, we're still not equal.
No, we're not.
I mean, it's terrible.
Let me also shock you. Do you know that if you're approaching from 1004, I'm using the roads that they told all Nigerians to use.
Yes.
From 1004, as soon as you're approaching the toll gate, once you get to the former Mobile in quotes, of course it's been sold now, it now turns to one lane for everybody going to Lekki. The other side was already cordoned off. Those who were on the other lane and was blocked, they decided to come to this lane and take over that lane. And guess who was using that road as well.
Oh.
The security operatives, you know, they were blowing their sirens using one way, and I'm like,
And you know what's
really?
even worse?
Chaos.
They didn't even,
Like you said,
they didn't even
these things
assign
only happen in the
people.
Banana Republic.
They didn't even
Chaos.
assign people to say, okay, this is going to be a challenge. Let's assign traffic operatives to be on standby to help navigate the traffic. Nothing
We
like
spoke
that.
to Olive during the sports show yesterday at 1 p.m. I mean, I was called to give a quick report on what's happening. We were at on Ikoyi Bodilon Road. We were there for 2 hours 45 minutes, no movement, and then I filed in a report from there. I joined the sports show, and then I filed in a report. A last mile official was there, and after the report, I asked him. He said he was only one last mile official, only one for that.
The whole
stretch of the road.
Only, the guy was overwhelmed. He said he doesn't even know. He was busy trying to direct people, do this. At some point, he just stood and was watching. Who are you directing? How do you want to direct them? Where do you want them to go?
Again.
Everywhere was blocked.
Again, I think the conclusion of this will be two things. First thing is, Lagosians deserve an apology from the Lagos state government and from the federal government, and not a written apology, a video apology
Not a
for what
directive.
happened. Because that obviously shows that we weren't prioritized. Our welfare wasn't prioritized. We deserve a public apology to say we didn't do well, we didn't think this through, we put the cart before the horse, and we're so sorry. And not just an apology, an assurance that this will never happen again. There are ways to go around this. Whilst I don't claim to be an expert with works or urban planning, but I would assume that another way, because we see this happen in other developed climes, they schedule it. You will give us a notice ahead of time and ensure that you put measures in place to be able to manage traffic. You can say, okay, we'll shut down the bridges at night, work on it at night, and in the daytime we'll loosen it. Even to think of shutting down a bridge in Lagos for 2 whole months. I think what happened is because the test was, they did it with...
There's no sense of urgency.
No, they did it in 3rd Mainland Bridge. Remember last year?
But 3rd Mainland was even scheduled at some point. From the morning hours,
Yes.
you could move. It's open. Once it's 12, it's closed to people who are moving inbound VI to
This
mainland.
complete shutdown now.
So you're shutting down in the middle of the city, a major
And guess
artery.
what? Guess what? You have CMS there, which holds... that's Nigeria's Broad Street. Of
Yes,
course, there's Broad
central
Street
business
there. That's central
district.
business. That's where you have the central business. You have the biggest companies.
Rail
That's where you have
terminals,
the
you have
Nigerian. You have the stock
shipping
exchange, the
lines.
stock market.
Yes.
You have everything there that is centralized. That, in short, adds to your GDP, adds to your IGR, adds to the economic growth of the
headquarters,
state.
yes.
And then you just decide to say, you know what, let's shut it down. Well, let's say, well, to err is human. That's fine. But like we've said here, this is, what's the time now? It's just 7:33. We expect a video to say, listen, we are sorry. It is not when it is time for campaign. You go and eat Gugura and Ekpa with people.
Go to different mosques and churches.
Show it now. Come out. Talk to people. Address them. We're humans. In as much as I feel like it's starting to look like an animal and the owner system, go ahead and talk to people and tell them, listen, we're sorry.
We also need a timeline. Like you said, it's beyond that statement that the Honorable Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, released saying, you know, they should open the Independence Bridge. It's beyond that. The bridge has been damaged.
I'm actually looking online to see if they've put out any...
When will things be normalized?
Video
and what's
apology.
the plan for the proper plan to repair that bridge? And what sort of repairs are you carrying out on the bridge? Is it cosmetic? Are you filling asphalt? Does it have to do with the integrity of the bridge? Nigerians need to know. These are just basic things that we deserve.
Well, anyway, this is not to mention the fact that beyond this drama, there's still the coastal highway that also causes some measure of traffic for those inward.
Let me tell you a story.
I experienced my own 2 days ago. I was crossing somewhere and then I had to go back. So
let me tell you a story about that coastal highway. Now, according to sources and people I know who always work there once in a while, that coastal highway the work there is moving on quickly. All right. If that route is opened, a lot of motorists will be able to, ply that route or route, whichever way you choose to call it, and then come out at Jakonde. Now, Jakonde Estate, of course, is just not far off from where you have, let's say, Kate and all those areas. So, yesterday, I decided to, in pain, turn and say, let me ply that route. Let me see if I can go there. normally, I was expecting that as a government, you know that
Because of
there's
the
a road
emergency
there and there's an
situation.
emergency situation. We've not heard the collateral damage of what happened yesterday.
I say,
We've not heard
no,
yet.
we have not. Oh.
Yes, because the
We've
stories
not
are
at
still
all.
emerging, they are
Yes, we're going to hear.
developing.
People
I
would-
shudder
people
to
would
imagine
share.
that there may have been people who may have died as a result. I hope
Yeah.
not.
People had to be in hospitals.
I
How
hope
were
not.
they able to get there on time?
I hope not, because if somebody can say to me, send me a message to say that, imagine a mother telling the owner of the crèche that please take my child home because you've been in traffic for 6 hours and you've not been able to get across to your child. It's really sad. We're
It's
waiting
sad.
for the video
It's sad.
apology and an assurance that this will never happen in Lagos again, and quite frankly in any part of Nigeria.